right, thanks a lot. All right, next up, we have Lewis with Lamp Portfolio. How you doing today?
I'm thankful. How you doing?
Doing good. So had a good weekend, and we're kicking off Monday. All right. So I guess we can go ahead and let you just kind of introduce yourself, what you're doing these days, and show us what you got as far as
Sure. Yeah. Well, I can piggyback on some of the conversation, obviously, catching up with Andrew, and I think that'll be a good way to introduce myself. I've been in real estate for about 30 years. I've had a brokerage firm, closed a lot of transactions over the years, was a developer as well, multifamily, went through the both of the big dips, um, and I've kind of seen how interest rates combined with, um, I don't know what I would call it, but just individual people or just the macroeconomic data kind of creating fear, and you get a pullback, and there's a buying opportunity. And I agree with you and Andrew, and both of you guys that we're not seeing that. It's not the same, even with rates going up and even with war and different things, we're just not seeing a pullback. I mean, I'm from Orange County, California. I don't know where are most people on the call from.
most are from Southern California. Then we have some Central Valley, we have some Northern Cal, but the bulk is going to be Southern California.
Yeah, it's those long-term, like 30-year fixed 3.25. Nobody's selling, so the inventory is not there. And that's really what's going on. There's just not enough inventory, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so, but that'll kind of segue from me. Just my background's Merrill Lynch. I worked at a financial firm. I've worked at a company called Mercer Global Advisors, where we manage people's real estate, financial assets. I was the sole trustee of a family business that I ran for a while. We had over about 120 units, and then had my own real estate brokerage firm and converted that to a real estate brokerage more focused on development firm. Now, what I wish I would have had the entire time that I did not have, and what I'd like to bring to you guys today, is I wish every time I met someone, I had their schedule of real estate for the rest of my life. And what I mean by that is most of your clients and most of the people that you're talking to have either one property or they're about to buy a property, or maybe they have two or three properties. Maybe they're about to buy their first home, but their dad has, four assets or three assets or five or whatever. And when you meet someone, you're thinking about the transaction. And what you really have is a relationship with a person. And what we did at Lamp Portfolio is Lamp Portfolio, just to let you know, stands for Legacy Asset Management Platform. So, and it's designed to hold a client's real estate assets with all of their debt and all the information about their real estate assets. And why that's helpful for you is because the client has an onboard portal to see their assets. And I'll be showing you guys this, but you get to have a relationship with that client. And so, what's nice about that is instead of having a KPI to have to try to catch a person at the right time, like have to figure out like, I mean, right when they're going to sell or right where they're going to buy, you get to decide, I want to have a relationship with you about your real estate. And I can start that relationship right now. And so that's what I'm going to be showing you as we kind of get into Lamp Portfolio and how it could be a tool to help you build a business, help you build relationships with your clients, continue to do transactions, obviously, and try to increase those transactions, and also build a deeper relationship with the clients that you have. And so, Travis, we've talked about this a little bit. I'll throw it back to you just for a second. But in your experience, would it be beneficial as an agent to create a longer term relationship with your client outside the transaction?
Well, it 100% is because when they trust you, they continue going to you over and over and over again. And so, that is worth more than constantly doling out money for purchasing leads and things like that. One example is, you know, my best friend has used me for every single purchase and sale that they have ever done, and I've just seen them grow from a little three-bedroom townhouse into they just finished a custom build, on a half acre. And this is what they've done over the past, I'd say about 12 years. Every house is supposed to be their forever house, right? But they still call me in between transactions and they ask me things, should I invest in a pool? Should I this? What's the market looking like? They ask me like quite a bit, him and his wife. And truthfully, pretty much all of my friends use me religiously. I don't even really have to ask for the business too much because they know that I always have their files. I always know what's going on with their area, and they trust my opinion. So the repeat business just from that, is worth more than me spending $1,000 a month on Zillow and hopefully trying to convert a lead, right? That I have know nothing about. So not that new
Yeah.
leads aren't good, but building the
Yeah.
relationships really is what creates that sustainable business in this business.
So that's perfect. That's a great segue. Um, I've discovered the same thing in my business on the financial side, on the development side, and I wish I would have started with this platform back, 20 years ago. I'd probably have 5 billion on platform with 500 clients and 16 or 2,200 properties all organized and structured. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to pull up a let's see. Can I share my screen here? Is that
You should
pretty?
be able to share your screen, yeah.
Yeah, desktop. Okay. I'm going to pull up a little presentation and let's slide up here real estate. Okay. I'm not gonna go over this slide by slide. Can everybody see this? Is that
We can see it
transactional agent?
on this. Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
Um, because I'm just gonna really focus. If you don't leave with anything other than this, instead of having your KPI be how do I get a next transaction, have your KPI be anyone I meet, I'd like to have them on a platform that I can follow up with them and build a relationship with them and build a portfolio of real estate. It allows you to meet someone at a coffee shop and say, "Hey, I'd like to be your advisor." And they're like, "What? Your real estate advisor?" I have a free platform for you. I'd like for you to onboard your assets, and I will help you with finance or with insurance. Or if you want to buy a property, we can put it in your favorites, and I'll help you find that property or other properties like it. But I'd like to work with you over time. It's just the idea of capturing people, high net worth people, or people that are of means to purchase and sell property, instead of trying to focus on how to figure out the transaction. You're just meeting a person. Exactly what Travis said, like one of your friends. I've onboarded, not trying to use like any kind of like, it's not about that, but I've onboarded like 700 million and AI let us build this platform. And we were able, this platform used to cost probably $1.5 million to build a platform like this. Because of AI, we were able to build it for fractions of that cost and offer so much value to you as an agent and to the client. Because of AI, we're able to add this major value that used to not happen. Everything was on Excel spreadsheets. Every property, every one of your clients owned was on an Excel spreadsheet somewhere. And if it wasn't there, it was in a file cabinet. And that made it very hard for you to work with the client because you couldn't assess the information. So the main theme of this is how do you become a real estate advisor from a transactional agent? So there's a couple different things going on here. One is you're chasing a deal. This you're owning the client, the person. One is you're starting at zero. This is you have repeat referral business. The other is you're after you close the property, the client's kind of gone. Now, after you close the property, you're still talking to that client about other things, and you have a way to engage with the client. Um, your income will start to smooth out as you start to build a bigger portfolio of clients because those clients, there's so many of them and so much on your platform that you'll be able to see where there's opportunity. For example, a dad passes away, for sure the kid now wants to sell the property, let's just say, there's a new opportunity. There's a divorce within your book. Okay, there's an opportunity. Okay, all of these things that are happening, but you've kept that relationship. And what's nice is when you start with relationship instead of transaction, they're used to dealing with you in that way. What happens is agents that start with a transaction, they struggle to then convert to relationship. So what we recommend on platform is you start as a real estate advisor, not a real estate agent. I'm your advisor. I manage your real estate over your lifetime. We all know that if we have a problem we can't solve, we can pick up the phone and solve it. So as a real estate advisor, let's say a client onboards some properties, or maybe outside your scope, maybe they're an industrial warehouse somewhere. That's a phone call to CBRE or Marcus and Millichap. Hey, one of my clients has a property in, San Diego. It's a 30,000 square foot industrial building. Could you help me with this listing? I'd like to have a referral fee with you, but I'd like to get this done for my client. So what happens is you start advising them on all of their real estate assets. This also, interestingly enough, will build a sellable book of business for you. So you'll actually have something in 10 years that you could sell. So that's kind of the just some basic pieces there. Um, so there's a couple plays that you can do to like engage. How do I do this? How do I get a client on, right? One is at your open houses, you could have a little QR code with our platform there. Hey, I'd like to have you as a client. I'd love to be your advisor for life. Why don't you click this? It's a free platform for you. Log in and I'll share this house with you on your platform. By the way, I can help you with anything else with your other real estate assets, but I'd love to be a resource for you. And then you could walk them over and take care of that. The family estate plan play. As you meet people, hey, is your son planning on getting into the business with you? Have you thought of purchasing a property for your son? Why don't you go on this platform and we can kind of get you logged in and we can start that process of getting him financed. And maybe you want to help him with financing. But talking to families, to sons, daughters, um, dads, grandpas, that whole environment creates a lot of transactions. And last would be the advisor for life play, which we've been talking about, which is you can predict. I met a guy at dinner at Mastro's, and he originally approached me for finance, which, by the way, everybody's got to know Andrew for finance. You got to like call that guy daily because I guess there's only two ways properties get purchased: all cash and other people's money, the bank or whatever. So if you don't
Yep.
understand finance, you, it's a problem. Now, our platform helps with finance. It helps Andrew because we get some information for him. And you've got to be a specialist in finance. Every agent on this call has got to understand how to, and our platform will help you with that. But you're going to need someone like Andrew who really has your files dialed before your client's ready to purchase. So first you build a relationship. The next thing you do is you get him ready for finance. Relationship, finance. Now you have a person that you're friends with that you know he has the money to buy and you know where he's getting it and you know he's qualified. Now you're just hanging out with people that have money ready to do stuff. That's the position you want to be in. So after you built a relationship, Travis built a relationship with one of his best friends. He actually has to know that that best friend can get the money he needs to buy the things he needs. So um, so just wanted to go over that for a second. So back to my story. So I'm at Mastro's. A guy, he comes to me. He's like, "Hey, I heard I can borrow some money." I'm like, "Hey, I've got a platform. I'm connected to a lot of great lenders. To be honest, I'm more of a relationship guy. But if you want to onboard onto my platform, I'll share your portfolio with some friends of mine." Sure. I go, "We don't have to work. It's, Friday night at Mastro." I'm like, I don't need to work, but like if you're open to it, I can do it on my phone. So I just pull up my phone. It's super, super simple, guys. Like I just pull up my phone. It looks like that, there's the platform. I just type his name. That's your name. His name's Victor. Victor. I create an email password. I go, okay. I'm like, if it's okay, I can just put a few of your properties in here if you want. If you're okay with it, I'll just put some of your properties in and I'll tell you about if I can get you financed. So I just go add property. There you go. And I just add. And he tells me like 7 addresses. So he's a wealthy guy, right? So I go, hey, give me about 15 minutes. Our AI platform runs an analysis on those, and I'll come back to you. I kind of chuckle and I go, I'll let you know whether I can finance you, right? So you can take care of this other transaction. So anyway, our platform runs the analysis. I get a schedule of real estate. It looks like that. There's the schedule right here. And I can tell he's got some properties worth a bunch of money. He's a very successful guy, very wealthy. So I see two properties in Anaheim. I happen to know that market really, really well. I know Anaheim. It's in this little triangle area. They're spending like billions of dollars over there by Angel Stadium. I'm like, I know that area. Those are good properties. I walk over to him like, hey, what's your debt on these? What kind of debt are you carrying on these two properties? He's like, I'm at like 30 LTV. I go, all right, well, I'm a real estate advisor, so I help people with everything. Um, However, if you're okay with it, I'll forward your property right now to a friend of mine I think can finance you. I forwarded it. Uh, I sent the text message to my friend who's an industrial developer, and these were industrial condos, two industrial condos, not Anaheim, and he agreed to finance him. And we financed him a couple days later, which led to a transaction. So the future is here. So if anything, have your KPIs. I'm going to start building a relationship with my clients, right? Um, this is another concept here. It's called the client acquisition cost. How much does it cost to acquire a client, right? And in our model, when you lead with relationship and you lead with finance, your cost can be as little as a couple dollars because our platform is $79 a month, which is the fee to the advisor. It's free to all your clients. None of them pay. Okay. And what's amazing is when I worked at Merrill Lynch, in order to meet a client that could buy $1 million home or $2 million home or three or four, I would have to get my Series 7, my 65, my 63, my insurance license, take him to coffee, take him to a basketball game, meet his wife, make sure I remember her birthday, know the dog, and get his kids into college over like a 2 year period before he would like transfer money over to me. What's interesting about being a real estate advisor is you can meet someone anywhere at an open house and say, well, hey, what do you do? Hey, I'm a real estate advisor. I'd love to take care of your real estate needs into the future. And I'm really helpful with finance and preparing you to take opportunities when they come along. And if you're open to it, I can log you into my platform. It's free. Get access to either your current real estate assets or the assets you want to buy, and I can be a resource for you. If you're open to that, let's take care of it right now. So your cost is just your cost for the platform, and then each client that you have is on the platform. So it's a really, really low client acquisition cost for a higher net worth people that can afford homes versus like when I was at Merrill Lynch, there's a huge cost, maybe $10,000 up to $100,000 for some of these clients. So, and doing this by hand or Excel spreadsheets or trying to use Constant Contact or HubSpot, they don't track the real estate assets, and we do. So the problem is you got a name, but you still don't really know what's going on in the portfolio. So I think now is a great time for me to jump on and give you guys a demo of the platform so you can see both like a platform that has some assets on it and then also just what it looks like to onboard a client. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over to Lamp Portfolio. This is our website, talks a little bit about what we do. Has a little bit of client facing, so your client will enjoy the product because we do offer services for the client. Obviously, we create automated valuation models, so we give them an idea of what their properties are worth. We have a place for them to put all their documents, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and we also give them a place to leave notes, and we give them some insights and different things. So you go to lampit.ai, and lampit.ai, when you come into the platform, will look like this. And as an advisor, you would go here. It says I'm an advisor, and you would log in as an advisor. It says advisor portal. But as your client, they'll just go in here. Sorry, they'll just go into uh, logo, light up my portfolio. They'll put their name, email, password, password. That's it. That's all your client has to do. We purposely made it as easy as we possibly could to open an account with us. When they open an account, it will look like, and I'm using this one. It will look like this when they open the account, and it says zero properties, total value, everything here. So the most important two buttons are add property and share portfolio. Add property, share portfolio. So I have videos that I've made, and I could show you how to make these kind of videos. They're very easy. Loom is free, and there are these there are these simple videos. Let's see if I can get one up for you. And I use these videos to onboard my clients. And I've onboarded, I don't know, over 100 million just with videos, and they're super simple. A client that I know, they just have my little picture. I talk, and it shows them how to log in and add their properties and whatnot. So just to show that I don't, sometimes a client will call me with something, hey, my grandson wants to buy a property, blah, 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 blah. Can you help me? I'm like, well, you're already on platform. So what I'd like is let's set up an account for them. I'll send you these videos, send them on. And then what's so great, you guys, is stuff just shows up in my shared portfolio, which I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So back to here, client goes on, he adds his property, puts in his address. This is a property that he already owns, okay? And you can put as many properties as you want in here, but I'm just giving you an example. That's going to analyze for a few minutes there. And then you share the property with your email. So this would be your email. You click that and press share. And that will go to that client will then have shared the property with you. The client then has tools, which I'm going to open another account to add all of the information about his property. There's also an advisory boardroom here, which will show um, all of the people that this client has shared the property with. Because you might call them and say, "Hey, share your property with Andrew because I need him to help you with finance," or share your property with your estate planner because I know you're planning on passing this property down to your son, but it's not titled appropriately. So you can have the client share the property with other people. I'm going to go into our demo portfolios so that you guys can get a better picture of. There we go. Okay. So the properties will populate like this, as you can see here. And and the client will then it'll show the property, it'll show the estimated value, the debt. You can fill out the debt for the client or work with Andrew, which will be his first mortgage, is his the rate, his maturity date, if he has a HELOC, um, a second mortgage, and a third mortgage, whatever his debt is on the property, it'll give you the total debt and a blended rate here. Again, remember what I said, create a relationship. So here's the relationship. This is the person right here. What's going to happen is you're going to have a shared portfolio. See, it says dashboard here. These are all the people that shared their portfolios with you. It's all their names and all their properties. Now, this one's worth 490 million. If I would have started this 10 years ago, no hyperbole, nothing, this would be like 6 billion. If I was capturing all of my clients and having a relationship with them, it just scales. And if I was good at doing this too, not on top of it, but I also was good at helping my clients, you can sort your clients whether they want to sell a property, exchange a property, and I'll explain that in a second, how these buttons get pushed by your client and how you help them. So once the client, I'm going to go back to the client. This is the client. Once the client has onboarded their assets, you can walk with the client. So you can say, "Hey, let's get your debt right. Let's make sure that the estimated rent for this property is accurate. You can do a budget to improve the property." But after this is done, you want to get their documents. And this comes back to Andrew. You want all of his loan docs here of his current loan that he has, because that creates a transaction for you. If the client's loan is maturing and he's going to get a bump up in rate, that might create a transaction, a sale. He may say, "Oh, my rate's going to 7%. I was staying in this house because my rate was 3.2. It's going to go to 6.6. I might as well just go live where I want now." So there's just a lot of different sorts of conversations that come up around finance. Insurance is very important because sometimes they have a gap in insurance, and this is a way you can add value to your client, as an advisor. You can say, "Hey, we reviewed your insurance policy." Now we have I can show you how to use AI to do that. Once they drop the policy, and you can do an insurance review on AI very quickly. And so I'm not going to get into too much detail. This is a condensed version of the demo because we kind of getting through it, but have them put their insurance information. If they have a title policy, you can also get a preliminary title policy for them, which is great because if you do an analysis of that, you might also be able to add value to them. If they have an appraisal or a CMA or an automated valuation model, you can put this in here. And all of a sudden, you were starting to like really help this client because you're helping them with their insurance. You've checked their title. You've looked at their loan docs. You've looked at the valuation, and you can put their offers and interests. If someone wants to make an offer on this property, you can add in offers and interests, any offers that people are making on this property. Shared notes, these are notes that your client can leave you. So you can read these in your shared portfolio when you view their account. And also they have some alerts, just some different things. Short-term lodging is regulated and permit dependent. ADU is considered. So just like a couple little notes in here that you can read. If the client ever wants to exchange the property, do a 1031 exchange or exchange the property, you can do that here. This also leads to a transaction. which is 1031 property selection. This allows you to select the properties that he wants to buy. And when you save that, those properties will then go into the client's wish list, which is down here. And this is what I was talking about as far as if a client owns no properties and you just met him and you just want to be their advisor, you probably just go into the wish list and add like one property that they're looking at buying or a couple that they're looking at buying. You can also fill this up with a lot of properties and say, hey, jump on your platform, Jeff. I want to go over all your wish list properties today. And you just click in. Here's the 32nd Street property. Click on this view map right here. Hey, let's look at this property. It's right here. Here's why I like it for your family. Ba, 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 ba. And it looks like that we've looked at financing it, and here's how we're going to finance it. So you can move very, very rapidly through a bunch of wish list properties. And also, when you're doing the open house, this is where you would put your property. If you had a QR code and your client logged in and created an account, you would have wish list properties here. And all you would do is, this one's like you would be in the wish list. You'd take a property like this, and then you would just share it right here with the client. And when that goes into the client's shared portfolio, they would see the property that you are interested in showing them. So you can share the whole portfolio, which is what I want the client to do with you. So the client will add his properties, they'll share the portfolio with you. And then you can also share an individual property. So let's say this is your client's assets, and you're like, oh yeah, this 1112 Westcliff, he's finally decided to sell it. Then you would go ahead and you had a potential buyer for the property. You could share it with the potential buyer, and you can put the offers of interest here. The other thing you want to do is create a strategy for every property. So, and why I love this, guys, is instead of running around trying to find it, you're just talking to your client, helping them with even if they only have one asset. Let's just say there's just one asset. You're still going to go in and say, "What's your strategy for this asset?" Oh, we want to hold, we want to find it, we want to refinance, and we want to hold the property, and we want to improve it. Okay, great. Why is that important? Because they shared the property with you. So if you go into your shared and you check hold, now you can see the clients that want to hold, and you can see the clients that want to finance. And so you shrink because eventually you have so many clients, you want to sort by the action item. So we're kind of getting close to, I think I've shown you most of the features that we have on platform and how to utilize it. Let me come back to shared and go into. So I do want to show you this on your shared portfolio. You will have their vault and notes, as well as the ability to download all their documents. So you have to utilize the client to make these changes. So you're usually on a call with your client to help them organize and structure the real estate and help them pick their strategy. However, you do have access to view everything, and you can leave notes to the client here. And also, you can quickly email your client because all their emails are right here. So if you are talking to Chris on the phone, you're like, hey, I want to send him an email. You just click that, and that'll send it over. So I'm going to go ahead and log out. We'll come back to here, and let me pop out. Um, there we go. Okay.
All right.
Um, Travis, go ahead. You got any questions?
Yeah. I don't have any. Well, I guess the third point you had was develop it into a sellable business. So how do you see that stemming from using a platform like this?
Oh yeah, sorry. I thank you for bringing that back up. Let's get back in here. Okay. Um, this will be perfect. Yeah, this is what's so great, guys. Like, as far as a KPI of just going and building, getting people on platform, like if you just got let's say you didn't sell a piece of real estate next year, but you had 490 million on platform with all these clients with this much equity, 93 properties. Let's say you just built this relationally. Well, imagine you have real estate agent A over here, and he does business every year and he does transactions, but real estate agent B over here does the same thing with this platform. Now, this agent is going to be getting an email when his client's real loan portfolio is maturing, like, hey, a loan's maturing, or things are happening in his portfolio. Plus, it's all organized and structured. Plus, these clients have all of their documents, their estate planning documents, their taxes, they've got their title, their insurance documents. This information is a real estate business. So as you onboard all these relationships that you have, you're actually creating a sellable asset because if I saw this portfolio, I'm like, oh, this is worth something to another agent. And so building it today and making your KPI, how do I get people on this platform? And how do I get all their data? And how do I have them share it with their estate planner, with their loan broker, with their financial advisor, with their brother? The more people your client shares it with, the stickier it is. And when it gets really sticky, our data shows almost no one deletes it. It's one person, hundreds of downloads. Nobody, because it's free. It's free to the client. They have no incentive. They're like, wait, I can look at my real estate information. I get some data. They don't delete it. So if you can get people on it, it's very sticky and they start using it. And when you start calling them, telling them to share it with people that can help them, like, oh, you want to build an ADU in your backyard? Great. Share your portfolio with my friend Tom. He builds ADUs. Oh, by the way, Andrew's already financed your house to build the ADU. It's a better way to do business, guys. Like, this is the way real estate's getting done. In 1980, there was a stockbroker and he's gone. Now everyone's a financial advisor. In 2025, there are a few real estate brokers and agents. They're all going to be gone. Everyone's going to be a real estate advisor. Everyone's going to have clients, and they're all going to be on platforms like this. So the sooner you start building your platform with your clients, the better off you are because you're going to build a very sticky, very robust list of clients and all their real estate assets, and it's going to be a sellable asset.
Yeah, so it's I kind of liken that, I guess, to maybe an insurance agent, insurance broker who they want to get out of the business or maybe they switch brands or something like that. I mean, I had a friend do this as well. He had an all-state office and yeah, he built it up and he had a provable book of business essentially. And that is what he sold. And then he actually went independent after that. He wanted to get out of the Allstate name. But that's what he did. And so, as real estate agents, that's really tough for us to do when we want to get out of the business. We just end up getting out of the business, and
Yeah,
some of us
yeah.
will keep our
Who's gonna?
licenses for, referrals and things like that. But you could basically say, to people in the office, hey, look, I have X amount of people on this platform. You can see from, my records, this many of them are transacting with me. We can do this warm handoff. Hey, they're going to be taking over my book. Just like if you've experienced that with your insurance agent, which I have at least twice, where they're like, hey, so and so retired. We just took over their book of business. Please call us. Did I switch insurance agencies? No, I did not. Um, so it's a warmer handoff, and it's something you can maybe exit the business with a little extra cash when it comes that time. So we all have a goal at the end, right? So we're
Yeah.
not looking to do this for 50 years, most of us. So when you get to the end, you want to be rewarded for your hard work, and this is one of the ways that you can help yourself get to that point.
Yeah, I did want to say on this note too, because by the way, one of the guys that would buy it would be the insurance agent. He'd be like, "Oh
Yeah,
wait, you have all this organized and structured. You have all the insurance documents for the whole portfolio. I'll give you 100 grand." Because he
yeah,
can already calculate his insurance because he gets residuals every year.
yeah,
So he might go, "Oh, there's a nice residual play." But I want to say something because people don't really, they might not understand this because they just met Lamp Portfolio, just met me. I've been dreaming about this project since I was like 24 years old. So we've needed an online tool for people to manage real estate assets for both advisors like insurance brokers and loan brokers and real estate agents, and for advisors and clients. We've needed this forever. We have it now. But I want to say, you can put. We had a loan broker come on 3 weeks ago. He has 300 million on platform. Like, this is not, oh, it's like tomorrow. You can do it right now. I have another guy. Um, He came on about a month ago. He has over 50 million on platform. You could log in today. There's a 30-day trial. You could log in today, call your uncle or something and be like, hey, I'm doing this platform thing. I need you on my platform. I want to figure out how to use it. I'm learning how to use it. Boom. Guy's worth 6 million, whatever. Next day, hey, mom, I'm putting your real estate asset on here. Boom. Hey, mom, can you share your real estate asset with your financial advisor? Oh, yeah. Now the financial advisor gets you. You call the financial advisor because he's like, what's this? You're like, yeah, I wanted you to have my mom's. Oh, yeah. So share your real estate asset, mom, with your CPA. Now the CPA is a lead. What's this? Oh, I wanted my mom's assets to be, or my brother. You can move with this platform like right now. It's not, this is not a complicated, you need all this, like I'll educate. I'm happy to, do another call. I can do an education call. But what I'm saying is I've seen people start with platform and build 10, 20, 30, 50, 100. I'm not trying to, but I have over 700 million. It can go very fast because when you start sharing it with all these people, they don't know what it is. They're like, wait, I just got these assets. Now they're over here. Now he has to log in. That guy has to log in to see the assets. That becomes a lead for you to call. So you only need a few relationships, like just people that you already know, and you should start there. And once you get moving, you'll realize you start building relationships with people and you'll connect with a couple people and then you can go down that rabbit hole. But this is not a this is like a right now. You can get going tomorrow.
Well, I found that over the years, building relationships is a heck of a lot easier and less expensive than buying leads every month and grinding on the phone. So, so
Yeah,
that is
100%.
with, trying to convert a warm or a cold lead, right? So nobody really likes doing that. Well,
No.
there's some of you that like doing that, but it was never my thing. So I always preferred to, I did outbound marketing in the beginning of my career, but now it's just maintaining relationships really. So, yeah, it's somewhat like a CRM. I think whatever you're using out there, if you're not using anything, you should have some type of database for your clients and so you can stay organized, so you can build these relationships. This is another one of those tools, where you can say, okay, I think I can invest in learning and I can work it this way to build these relationships to be stronger and to have inbound referrals versus sitting on the phone and making cold calls all day. So um, that's what I that's
Yeah.
what I got for it. So
I would just close with um, the key point, which is I've been a real estate agent. I've had a real estate company, and I'm having a key performance indicator that you're building a relationship and getting someone on a platform is very predictable. It's going to be very easy for an agent to say, did I get 10 people on platform this week? Or did I get it makes all the in-between time when you're not sure what to do next. This is so linear and you can force it. You can just get people on and then you have assets. And what happens is you're going to start liking that your shared portfolio is growing and you're like, oh, I'm building a business. Then all of a sudden the transactions start happening. And it's the 80-20 rule. You're going to spend 80% of your time getting people on, and all of a sudden 20% of that portfolio is going to hit, and you're going to have a business now instead of just kind of like all over the place. So I would hone in on that. The key idea here is to create relationships. I think Travis has said it, instead of try to find a transaction. The transactions will come.
yep, they will.
And oh yeah, I'm a resource, by the way. Land Portfolio, Lewis Baker. I do have my president, Jeff Marchialotti, on the call. We have Thomas Chang is one of our onboard specialists. Amin is one of our onboard specialists. So we have a group here that's ready to help. And so and we have our own call as well on Wednesday. So Jeff, you can give that to Travis. Travis, you can get that out to your gang. And so that
Yep.
if you guys want to join our webinar, I think this week's on finance. We have different weeks. So some weeks we'll do real estate agent focus. Some day we'll do finance. Some days we do insurance focus. Some day we do the client, like the client that's on the platform, how to use it. So I believe it's finance this week, but we'll have a real estate focused one here coming up. And you're more than welcome to come on the finance one. You'll still learn a lot of great information.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. And then, if anybody has questions on it, I can get you in contact. and learn a little bit more. It sounds like there's a 30-day trial on it, so that's a pretty lengthy time to decide if this is something you really want to, invest a little time in and getting used to it and being able to onboard your clientele on it. So yeah, appreciate you coming on, and hopefully everybody makes it a great week. So
Awesome. All
all
right.
right,
Cheers, guys. Appreciate you.
all right, we'll talk to
Bye.
you later.